Today I'll be talking to you about a very powerful technique of storytelling which is called as SCQA. SCQA comes from the stable of McKinsey and Company, and the author of this technique is a lady by the name Barbara Minto. What does SCQA stand for? S stands for situation. Now whenever you are trying to narrate a story to somebody, you need to always start by telling the situation. What a situation does is that it brings you and your audience onto the same page. Often what happens is you assume that your audience knows what the problem is or that they are really primed to solve that particular problem, but that's not necessarily true. It's very critical that you bring everybody at your level of understanding, and that is where you start by narrating the situation. Once you have told the situation, then comes C. C stands for complication. Now complication is your hook. It's that part of the story where you are inviting people to really understand that why this warrants their attention. What is the complication or what is not really going right, which needs people to pay attention to what you have been telling. So that is your C, which is called as complication. Then comes Q. What is Q? Q is the question. What's the central question that you are wanting to address today? And then you follow the question with A, which is the answer. SCQA, situation, complication, question and answer. Let me tell you an age-old story, and you will understand that almost all stories across generations, across cultures follow pretty much this particular template, S. So once upon a time there was a crow. The crow was thirsty and the crow could see a pitcher where there was water. That situation, the crow was thirsty and the crow could see a pitcher which is having water in it. The complication is that the water in that particular pot or the pitcher is low. So the crow cannot reach to the water. So the question that we have now is that how does a crow drink water and quench the thirst? And the answer that we have is that the crow goes about throwing some pebbles into the pitcher. So the water level comes up and then the crow is able to take that water. So that is your SCQA, situation, complication, question and answer. Now what SCQA does is that it is a very powerful and a very succinct way of getting people onto the problem space, telling what the central problem is or what the question is, and then also telling them what the answer could be. Let's talk about a business context and relay a particular SCQA format of story. Now the situation that we had is that post-pandemic, a lot of companies have people working from home or from other co-working spaces, not necessarily coming to offices. That situation, and everybody understands that, yeah, this is situation, correct. Then comes the C, which is the complication. Now, the complication that we have is because people are working from dispersed location, the cultural integrity of the organization is suffering. And as a result, innovation and collaboration is not happening. Now, the question that we want to address today is that how do we ensure that people are coming more to the office, or at least they are having mechanisms where they are collaborating. That's your Q. And the answer is that we have three answers. The first is that we ask people to come on specific days where the entire team is coming. Number two, we can have high intensity meetings, but not for the entire duration. And number three, we incentivize the people to come to office so that there is a greater collaboration. You see, each of these three methods can be applied. So an adjoining feature of SCQA is what we call as the pyramid principle. That's another contribution of Barbara Minto. And pyramid principle, and she talks about it in a book called The Pyramid Principle, is a very structured way of thinking clearly. And to be able to think clearly amounts to write clearly and to be able to communicate clearly. So what does the pyramid stand? At the top of the pyramid, you have the recommendation or the answer which you want to state. Now that answer is supported by some sort of an argument that why will this particular answer work, and at the bottom of the pyramid is your data or the evidence. So answer or the recommendation, then the argument that why do you think it is going to work, and finally if you have the data to substantiate. For example, if I go back to my working from office situation, so one of the recommendations that we have right now is that we incentivize people to come to office. Okay, so that's my answer. Now what is the evidence that this is going to work, and what is the argument supporting it? Now the argument which I have is that because people have been so used to working from home or elsewhere, they do not see a big merit in traveling all the way to office and spending their time away from their families, which means that the benefit of traveling to the office must outweigh the cost of traveling to the office, and that's the reason incentive is required. Okay, now what's the evidence or what's the data showing? And here we say that of the 100 companies, and this is the fictitious data for the sake of this discussion, of the 100 companies in a given locality, 50 of them have implemented some sort of an incentive mechanism like free food in the cafeteria, free pickup and drop, etc., for a limited amount of time, and they have seen that the attendance at the office has doubled. Now there is a very compelling and a powerful reason people to pay attention to you. So when you're building up your answer has to be built on the foundation of the data or the evidence, and then the argument that comes out of it, and finally the answer. And if the answer does not have that backing, you know that your answer doesn't stand a chance. So in summary, we have this very powerful technique called SCQA, situation, complication, question and answer, and we go through this zone where people can then come back to you by further probing and asking questions to you. But to begin with, you wrap this up in about 3 minutes or so, and this is very, very important means that you're able to communicate using this technique to the people who are generally quite restless. I hope this is useful to all of you. This is Dr. Soni here. Do write back. Thank you so much.